Welcome back, everyone. This is part two of Harmony Browse. We're going to be talking about the other aspects of the product that we didn't get to in part one. So you can see I'm here back on the main page, my overview page, and all the different security events that are currently going on. So let's dive right in. First thing you'll notice, I'm going to go to here on the left-hand side up in the top is this little caret. And I can pick on that and immediately I can see that I can customize my dashboard. So if I don't want things the way they are, I can simply customize them here. I can create templates if I want to create my own template to use. I have a dashboard, a public dashboard that I can create. I can start with a blank and just simply add in the things that I want to have. So it makes customizing for the account team and the security team very easy so they can see the information that they want to see right up front. We're going to next go into asset management. And this basically, we can see the actual devices that are currently being utilized with Harmony Browse. In this case, my lab box that we had from before, what operating system, am I part of an Active Directory group? As you can see here in an organizational tree, the directories or virtual groups, because I'm not part of Active Directory, or maybe I'm on a Mac and I can create a virtual organizational tree that way. When I go back in here, we can see when I was connected, when it was deployed, and then what browsers am I actively using. Now I'm actively using the Edge browser in mine, but we also see Chrome, Safari, Firefox, and Brave. So we can install our product and control any of the browsers that the end user might be using. Let's go into endpoint settings. If we go into general settings, you can set up weekly or monthly reports. You can schedule them as well. And it can be emailed to all administrators. We can also generate reports right here in the report center on the security landscape of what's going on that Browse is seeing. So kind of a general security checkup, if you will, but we can also deep dive into specifics of what people are encountering out into the wild. If you happen to be a developer and you're using an SDK or you want to utilize the API, all the information you need is right here. Now we're going to go back into our policy, but before that, let's talk about how we can get information out of Checkpoint. So we're going to pick export events. Maybe you're utilizing a SIM. Again, very easy to use. We're going to say add, and that's just a name and where we're sending it to, and what format do we want? Syslog, Ceph format, Splunk format, all right here, so that you can get the events that Checkpoint sees directly into your SIM. Let's go into the policy. Now the policy is great because this is what we configured the other day. And you can see all the configurations still right here at your fingertips. Today we're going to talk about our DLP solution. Now we can control DLP from an outbound or inbound. I have some outbound rules here that I've created. And I've gone into settings and I've enabled GenAI Protect. So once you set that and you pick on Enable All here on the right, the rules that you have here in install will actively be enforced by the browser add-in. Now let me explain what I've done. Now the first two rules are inactive, but you notice they're set to block. So the first one, text control, basically means typing in anything inside of any artificial intelligence as a category, and it's set to block. That means I'm not going to allow you to type in anything in it. This, of course, you can get to the website, but you're just not going to be able to send any information out. I then created a second rule that's also currently disabled, specifically for a very specific set of AI like ChatGPT and Claude. And I'm saying I'm not going to let you paste information into that artificial intelligence. And again, with the block, it's going to block your ability to paste it. Now, in today's world, of course, we want to be able to utilize these tools, so that might not be very practical, but know that you can do it. So I've turned on a couple other rules with some very specific information. The first one, text control of anything into any AI. So I'm going to type in information. But notice I have it set to prevent. That means I want to prevent the categories or information that I don't want being sent out. So the DLP leakage, if you will. And I've created certain categories that I've added in here, things like PCI or HIPAA or Social Security information or source code, all these things right here so that you can't actively send things that you shouldn't send while still utilizing the AI tool itself. And I'm going to prevent you from typing that in, and I'm going to prevent you from pasting that in. So let's take a little bit time and look at the configuration of how that works. So we would just simply say add, but I'm just going to edit one of the existing rules. And you can see the events. I can say I'm going to stop or prevent things like file uploads. The text control, that's the typing. And then, of course, paste, which is where we're at. Now, I'm choosing a category of artificial intelligence, so that would be across the spectrum. But I could be very granular, and I could say application. Maybe we settle on certain AIs, and I want to be able to use them, but none of the others. So all of the different AIs that Checkpoint knows about right here that you can choose, and then specify whether or not you can actively use them. And then, of course, all the data types you can see here that I've added things in, and simply checking them on or off adds them directly into the policy. Now, once you have your rules set up the way you want, they're turned on. We have this turned on. And if we're using generative AI, that checked on, everything's ready to go. You notice here in the bottom right, we have save and install, and that will turn a bright blue when there's changes being made, or if it's a new policy, you just simply save and install it, wait a few seconds, and then at that point, the browser add-in is up to date and ready to go. So without much ado, let's dive into our logbox. And this is my lab here. We're going to take time to go into the browser, and you can see I'm actively on the internet. Type in ChatGPT, and notice again, from the other day, we had safe search turned on. Notice we're actively saying whether or not websites are safe. You can see Checkpoint is actively looking at everything. So go into ChatGPT, and first off, let's see that it's actually working. Give me 5 bullet points about London. And it's returning information as it should. So I'm actively able to use the tool. Now, what if I start to type things that I shouldn't do? And try to send that. Notice sending of text is blocked. It recognized that's a social security number. I should not be sending that information. Okay, got it. Well, what happens if I were to paste it? So I'm going to take it right out of here. You can see I've done this a few times. Try to paste it in. Oh, paste is blocked. It wouldn't let me do it. All right. What if I embed it in something? I'm going to type this. Give me 5 bullets, items about Madrid. Spain. So effectively embedding something. Once again, unable to do it. It recognized it right there. All right. Let's try try to paste this. Sending of text is blocked as well. So it just simply won't let me do it. It's not going to allow me to put that in, no matter how hard I try. All right. What happens is the tool now effectively not useful. Do I have to get out of this and go back into ChatGPT to continue? No, I don't. You'll notice you can still continue to use the tool. It's just stopping you from sending things that you don't want to send or shouldn't send in a DLP situation, while still letting you continue to work. So what did Checkpoint see? Let's go back into our Harmony Browse portal. And again, if you're right here in the overview page, you can just simply click right in here and it will take you immediately to those security events that you're looking at. Or I could have gone on logs and searched on something specific. In this case, you notice it prevented, with the resource was ChatGPT, it would not let me paste this text. That was prevented. All of it right here at your fingertips. And you'll notice, why wouldn't you let me paste it? Well, because you were sending out a social security number, but it didn't put the security number in the log. So we're not leaking things into our log. We're just stopping the security event, telling you there was a security event, who did it, when it occurred, and your ability to see, and of course our ability to make security decisions on it right here in true Checkpoint fashion, and its ability to give you logging. So whether we're talking about zero phishing, or we're talking about password reuse, or today where we show DLP events, it's a simple, lightweight control that goes inside of your browser. No heavy software installs, no hardware installs. And it doesn't matter, what the security posture is as far as what vendor they like to use internally. Anybody can use this software. It installs itself very easy. It's run entirely out of portal.checkpoint.com. I'm very excited about this product. We think that it's a huge game changer, and we appreciate your attention and watching these videos. I will catch you next time when we'll be talking about one of our other products. I hope this has been enjoyable for you. Thank you, and I'll catch you next time.